Yo.
What's good, people? What's good, people? Welcome on board another Friday night, and it is the fixture list. Let me just do this.
And let me just do this.
What I do?
Yeah, I guess I didn't know why he's doing it. Some of you don't know. We ain't trying to fix the antenna. Basically, what we're saying. Thanks for joining us, all the people locked in from wherever, however. Make sure you drop a comment and just press that like button on all your social medias. Just do a one like now. Crystal Davis here. She's looking for a hello. She's right there. We put her in the middle. Give Crystal a like right now. Good vibes only.
Fingernails.
Give Ernie a like. Not the wrong Ernie, but the right Ernie. Ernie from Tottenham. And also a welcome in today, Frank Scully, fresh from Stamford Bridge. And of course, the welcome return of Daddy Ernie. It's the fixture list. We got so much to talk about today, guys.
Yo, I'm telling you, what a last few days.
It's a lovely few days, mate.
It's an amazing. I think myself and Crystal can just stand back and just watch you guys just make a pig's ear out of a football club. We've got Tottenham. Don't know if they're coming or going. Top 4, top 5, top 6, top 7. We've got Frank Scully. HMRC was a problem, but now it's a bigger problem for Chelsea. And then there's Man United. Why could we do a weekend without Man United? They got a feature.
You know that, bro. I told you that. The fixture list is not complete without Man United. Some sort of talk about Man United. I know last week I wasn't there and you lot was talking about Man United because people told me that you was talking about Man United.
But how can we not do a show without Man United? You're not prepared to fix your football club. You're not prepared to accept that you're finished, your history. And, this is what football channels have used over the years. Man United.
Okay. Arsenal's not saying too much because all of a sudden they're in 4th place and looking like real contenders for the top 4 now.
I don't know which one of you. I don't know which one of you guys deserve. I don't know who deserves this. Whether it's Chelsea, I used to give it to Man United, Arsenal, or Tottenham, but I just don't know. I don't know.
I'll tell you what.
We will discuss. Frank, welcome to the show. Your first time on the show, but Daddy Ernie has assured me that you are fresh from Rona Stamford Bridge. What was you doing at Stamford Bridge? Apparently, when the news broke about Abramovich,
my agent sent me an email last week and said to me, "There's a small part in Ted Lasso. It's a day's work. You fancy it?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" So then the production company got in touch with me and said to me, "I've got to be there at 5:30 in the morning."
Wow.
And it's okay. I don't live too far from the bridge, so jumped in the Uber they sent for me, and
what happened to the other one? The what's the other company? Addison Lee. Why don't they do Addison Lee anymore? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Different company, different contracts, I suppose.
Were you saying, Frank, it weren't a big part then?
No, of course not.
Oh, okay. So it's an Uber. It's an Uber part. All right.
Uber part. Yeah. Give me the money.
Addison Lee's when you're getting good parts, you get the Addison Lee treatment.
No, man. I want the money, not the fame. I don't want people who want to know what kind of positions I'm wearing and all that. Just give me the money.
True.
You know what I mean? I'm a jobbing actor. I don't want no A-list business.
I hear you. Money, not the fame.
Yeah, they knock you up and knock you down. I don't want none of that shit. Yeah. So I was there from 5:30 in the morning, and it was funny because the place where we had to sit and have breakfast was Paul Cannibal Suite.
That's inside the Chelsea ground.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I've been to many football grounds, and I've been quite lucky, to go in lots of different players' lounge. But Paul Cannibal Suite, when you walk in there, there's about 10 pictures of black footballers all across the walls.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite ironic, really, with the history we've got in racism. There's a room, just pure black players. There's Lee, Paul Elliott, just all the
Drogba, everybody.
Drogba,
Raw Fox.
Yeah. Who?
Yeah, mate.
He played for Norwich, didn't he?
He played for us too, mate.
On loan?
Nah, we signed him. Yeah.
Right. No, it was just nice to just sit in a room and just see pure black English football players on the wall. Their portraits on there. It was nice. It was nice. Props to Paul for having that lovely suite. You know what I mean? In his name.
So when the news broke, what happened exactly? Because you went in there with just a couple of cameras doing your little piece. Then all of a sudden, the world.
Because they said to us, while filming, they don't mind us using our phones because we're obviously in a football match. Lots of people got their phones. So usually on a set, phones are banned. But on this shoot, phones wasn't banned. They encourage you to use your phone. Take
social media, innit? It could drive the interest,
Yeah, and because, in any football crowd, people are on their phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so it was while filming that I said, but wait, sanction? That what? Oh my God. It was a dagger. And then it just got worse and worse and worse. And then when we had a break, where you have your refreshments in the ground, they got the TVs there, innit?
Yeah.
I was sat there watching it on Sky News. It just got worse. And then all of a sudden I can see that CNN, BBC, ITV, we're all outside the ground. You know what I mean? So it's only when I left about 5:30, been there for 12 hours, that I managed to see a lot of the guys there. I'm shocked. There are quite a lot of black guys. The technicians that set up these things.
Yeah.
They're all black. I was surprised. BBC, Channel 4, they're all black guys.
Well, it's diversity now, isn't it?
Yes,
did anybody stop you and ask you, are you Russian? Are you Russian? Because you have a Russian look about you still. Yes. You could pass as a Russian.
They got some sound bites from some local people, Chelsea supporters who were outside. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to give my sound bite. I was so vexed when I came out of there. So vexed.
Well, because you were there for 12 hours, or because of the news?
No, because of the news. I just thought that the government are going down a very, very, very slippery slope here now. And they're setting a precedent. Yeah. They're setting a precedent now that can affect more clubs in the future. Because let's face it, the world is going to be full of wars. We ain't going to stop warring. And I think they're setting a precedent here. And I think it's wrong what they've done. It's not because I'm a Chelsea supporter.
But Frank, to be frank, we don't care because it's Chelsea.
I know, obviously, anything to get the other clubs above us.
No, I just don't care because it's Chelsea.
Yeah,
it's not to do with it's the way you came into football. So sometimes your entry and your exit, there's a balance, isn't it? You come in unfairly.
It's going to be a
you're
shock.
Going to go out unfairly.
No. It's not unfair. Listen, I look at it like that. When you in your estate and there's one kid that's always been broke and you lot to laugh at him, all of a sudden he wins the lottery. Right?
But you didn't win the lottery.
And then everybody on the estate is like hating on him. Because now, that's how it's like.
No, but hold on. The lottery is a thing that you play, and you go to the shop, you buy your lottery ticket, and you're there hoping and praying, and it's kind of out of luck. Your thing wasn't out of luck.
Hold on a minute. When Abramovich came over in 2000,
that wasn't lucky.
When Abramovich came over in 2000,
he came to look at us as well. I heard
he never came to buy Chelsea. Yeah, it was Chelsea beating Liverpool in that last game and getting Champions League that made Chelsea viable. I think he was looking at Tottenham at first, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was looking at Tottenham. He wasn't looking at Chelsea. He was looking at
He took one look at Chick King and said,
"Hey, one said it's not my go yet."
That last game of the season when Chelsea beat Liverpool, got Champions League, Liverpool got knocked out, and it made Chelsea all of a sudden a viable product to buy. That's what changed it.
But that's not luck, though.
That's luck. If Liverpool beat us that day, we wouldn't have been bought by Abramovich.
He probably would have probably bought the club.
No, he wanted a team in the Champions League.
I think the government has gone lightly on you guys, mate. Personally,
lightly.
Yeah. I feel I feel sorry for obviously the people that work for Chelsea. I feel sorry for people that have got jobs and obviously some of the fans. I feel a little bit sorry for them. You know what I mean? It stings me to say that, mind you, but when you see Roman Abramovich, just how he's been making the money, and we're trying to make it a fair ground. Even that smell, allegedly. You know what I mean? It still doesn't sit right because he come and mash up the whole of the transfer window. Spend big money on this person, threw money at that. No one had no chance. And then let all them other people come in.
Come on, Frank. Come on, come on, it's called.
I'm not hating. I appreciate the fact that you done well because you did do well, innit? You have to, obviously, if you've got the money, you have to be able to perform, and you did that. But you have the money, man.
Let me explain something. Do you know who brought Abramovich into the Premier League? The Big Five. When you lot, the Big Five, broke away from the lead and signed that deal with Sky. Yeah? You lot greedy. Everton, Spurs, Tottenham, Liverpool, Man United, yeah? You lot broke away from the league.
It's the best thing we've done for this country, innit? I think we've got the best league in the world because of that.
Hold on, you broke away from the lead. You signed, Alan Sugar gave, what's his name, Murdoch the heads up because he had his Sky dishes to sell, yeah? All the cookiness that went on in there. So he told Murdoch what to bid, right? And Murdoch blew everyone out the water and got the contract for the Premier League for Sky TV. Yeah, that's what made the Premier League attractive to billionaires. Right, that's what started it. Let's get it right. That's what started it. Right,
fair play. But you see, your Roman Abramovich has more money than the Premier League. In theory, we don't have no chance. No teams have chance to try and cash. Since he's come, look what you've won. I mean, you spent big money on players like Wayne Bridge. You blew us out. No one could compete. If Chelsea was coming for that player, they were going to go not just for the medals. They were going for the money, the lifestyle. Night Kingsbridge.
Created that greed. Tottenham, you not created that greed. You started playing. John Barnes started getting 10 grand a week. That's
this is Frank. Hang on, Frank. We're going to let you continue. We're going to let you continue, but this just sounds like like the moonwalk when you're doing the moonwalk backwards. You just sound like you're moonwalking, brother. All that is all like that was then. We're talking about now. We're going to discuss now. Our good friend Edward the Red. Ed the Red is in the building joining us tonight. So big up Eddie now.
Oh, here we go.
Eddie,
listen, it's been lovely, guys. Take it easy.
Good evening, Eddie. Before you draw your pistolero. We are discussing Chelsea. So don't shoot the guy down there. Yeah. You've heard it.
I came on. I wondered what I'd come on to. This is a place of reasonable debate, and I see these two brothers are shouting at each other. That's not the way we behave here. We're calm. We're calm around here. But, you want a bamba? You want to play with the big boys? Hello, everybody. I welcome to see you before this Tottenham boy. I love him. You say he's gonna get licks. Where we starting then? I'm ready. Where we starting?
Before we do the battle of the baldies, we're gonna go back to Frank. Now, Frank, you speak very passionate about Chelsea, but you sound as if you've been battling with a lot of haters this week. Lewis Mastermind has dropped his chimed in with his comment. It's not about being haters. I think Chelsea are getting what they fully deserve. Did you expect Chelsea at some point to rumble? Because Roman was going to walk away from this club. Did you expect it though?
No, because I read a lot about this guy, and he was in it for the passion. He I think he watched Barcelona and
Madrid and them people there
in a Champions League, and that's what he wanted. He was in it for. It wasn't about the money for him.
Do you know what a laundrette is?
Yes, I know what a laundrette is, but
do you know what they do in a laundrette?
But even when you pick up the Telegraph and the Times, they say allegedly. There's no proof. That's to bring a new law.
I told you the allegedly thing still smells. It still Allegedly.
Look,
It's 50-50,
my
mate.
my
You know what I
man
mean?
said this week, right? And you know, half I'm gonna do it with you for fun, but half I have to do it for real. That he's not going to claim back a single penny of the £1.5 billion
yeah.
he is
You
owed by
believe that?
Chelsea. Now, at
Who's
Chelsea,
gonna claim
a
that?
£1 billion. I looked it up because I didn't know how much £1 billion was. It's 1,000. It's 1,000 million, right?
Yes.
So listen. If a brother owe me £80, I'm ready to go to jail. So if you can dash with £1.5 billion, it ain't money that you work for, my brother.
No, but he's got Eddie. He can do that because he's worth 15 billion.
He's worth £9.1 billion. I
That's
accept
worth.
there
What does he actually have in the bank?
And Ed, that is,
ain't nothing.
hey, that's allegedly that 9 billion. That's alleged. He's probably worth much more.
More than that.
Yeah, but
Probably
you
a
see,
much more.
when it gets to this kind of number, people like us, we can make up whatever we like. We all agree that it's more money than we can ever imagine, or more money than it's right for any one person to have. What I'm saying is that he came in and he threw a lot of money. He's paid a lot of managers. He's single-handedly kept the coaches' retirement fund going for the number of managers that he sacked in his time. But you see, we have a problem, those of us that love football, and Newcastle have it now, is that we don't really care where the money comes from so long as the money comes. And there is no honor in it because you can just come. That there are so more oligarchs in London than almost anywhere else because the property market in London is predicated on the value on the thing, and that's what's happening. So every time we punish one of those, if they all took their money out, we're going to be in a problem in London as well. But I feel sorry for the Chelsea supporter. Blue is the color. I do because it's not okay. So we can do we can do that part of it. What about the lady who's looking after her two children who works in the bar? What about the person? No, they're going
dormant.
There's a lot of grass to cut.
They are going to people in London that look like not Robert, but Ernie. They're gonna lose money. They're gonna be out of work. There are going to be. It isn't just rich people playing around. Think about it. 20 grand. You know, they got to go and fly.
Go to Fulham. Go to Fulham and get work over Fulham.
Yeah.
All right.
It's bang out. That's out of order, man.
Terrible for
people. Something. When the man comes to buy a club, in the Premier League, you have to go through the fit and proper test. Yeah. They have this thing called the fit and proper test. Diligence. Due diligence.
Yeah, due diligence or something. Like
that. He must have passed that to buy Chelsea.
Mate, he paid for it. Come on, Frank, mate.
Well, listen, let's
I've got a brother, Bucky went to jail for 20 years. He just come out. He just tried to buy a club. He passed it as well. What kind of foolishness is that? If you got money, that's what I'm saying. Football is a disease and it's bringing problems on itself. If you've got the money, Bucky got
the dough. It doesn't matter.
Bucky buy a club. How Bucky get a club?
Saudi Arabia own Newcastle. Everybody's moaning about what's happening in Ukraine. Yeah. Look up somewhere called the Yemen. Look up someone called the Yemen, and then tell me that there is it. No, it's rubbish. You know it's rubbish.
Let's just have a quick look at what. It's not the end of Chelsea because when you see it spelled out in the media, it sounds like it's doom and gloom. These are the things he can do. Chelsea can continue to play matches. They continue to receive broadcast money, allowed season ticket holders to attend games. That means you can't go and buy a dodgy ticket on the corner, Rona one part of Fulham anymore. You can't do that because that might go into Abramovich's pocket. These are the things you can do. They can't buy new players. They can't agree new contracts. So, Rudiger's gone. They can't sell new season tickets to games. They can't sell any merchandise at the club shops. So none of those blue shirts with the 3 logo on it can be sold. They cannot sell their club unless Abramovich allows the UK government to take control of the process. He receives no proceeds from any of the sale. He can't get a penny. That's not the end of Chelsea, but it is a problem.
I agree with all of that. No sweat, no problem with any of that. That's the little slight caveat. What's it called? The receiving the TV money. If you can't buy a shirt, that's going. Well, how can he receive the TV money? For what reason? And
Well,
how are
because the
people
players-
supposed to
because the
watch the
play-
games?
The players play the game, so they have to be paid for playing football, and they get paid for playing football because of they're being watched on TV. They earn more money from TV than at the stadium. So you got to pay those
So
players.
that's going to go towards their wages and that. I don't know
Yes,
how that all works.
100%.
But all I know is that the cannot thing is bang on the money, mate.
No, it's wrong.
You're damn right. Give us
there's young
Rudiger, mate.
kids.
Give him over, Rudiger.
Listen,
We'll have him.
There's young kids who in Chelsea hoping to get a career in football. Their parents, the family, and thinking, "Wow, we're gonna get and buy a house," and their dreams are being crushed. Why? Because of the government. It's wrong what they're doing. It's wrong.
No, they're still going to be professional footballers. They're just not going to live a lavish life, innit?
Fulham.
That's young. There's young footballers, 15, 14, whose dreams are being crushed by
That's not true. That's a bit far-fetched. No way. They're still going to be professional footballers.
They can't give contracts.
They can go to Fulham. Fulham's around the corner.
Okay, well, we'll come and save the day, innit? Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about it.
Crystal, I noticed you've been quiet about it. You had a lot to say during the week. You text me like, "Raw, rubber, you know, see what with Chelsea, them belly bust, la." She was going, "Rah." She was doing all of that yesterday. You've seen the situation.
Don't believe in people. No, actually, I'm laughing, but I'm laughing like with caution, cautiously laughing as I go along, because really and truly, like what Frank said, the Premier League and I guess the government, they've played their part as well, have somehow set the standard. And then you have to wonder, what does that standard look like for the rest of us? Because growing up, I was always told that money is dirty. You touch money, you can't put your hand in your mouth. You're supposed to wash your hand before you put your hand in your mouth. Money is always dirty. Yeah, there's no such thing as clean money. So I'm sitting there and I'm saying, yes, we might have dodged a bullet with Alisher Usmanov because he could have been. There's a time when plenty of Arsenal fans wanted Alisher Usmanov to be the major stakeholder for Arsenal and get rid of Stan Kroenke, and what we would have been faced with if that was the case. So yeah, at the moment we've got American owners similar to Liverpool and similar to Manchester United, and obviously Spurs of Daniel Levy, but there's no such thing as
God
clean
bless
money.
him at the moment, mate. God bless him.
You say that, but there's no such thing as like I said, you have to put emphasis on
Have you seen Tottenham?
No such thing as clean money. Without accusing anyone, not accusing anyone of anything, but I think look at millionaires and you look at billionaires, you have to wonder, how do you generate your money? Where's all your money coming from? So I'm sat here and I'm just like, oh, it's actually quite entertaining, but I'm thinking this could be my club because I have no idea what goes on behind closed doors.
Some of them people there,
Crystal, skeletons in people's closet.
Crystal, some of them people there in the government, right, who's made these decisions, they're to look in the mirror and look at themselves.
Yep.
Because enough of them mix up with only for people and a wash money about the place. I mean, Eddie can't comment. His other job.
Well, I can only give you facts, and that's the Conservative Party.
Eddie's holding the parcel.
I've profited to the tune of £2 million nigh on from Russian oligarchs and people like that.
And that's what we know about. Certain men get peerage and all them business there, and have business mix up with
yeah, but that's the argument about Lebedev, who's running the Evening Standard and the Independent. I just read this to you, Ern, because I thought you'd appreciate it. As Chelsea face up to a trophyless future with no money to spend on transfers, football fans begin to wonder how long government sanctions have been in place at Tottenham.
I heard that one.
I just heard that. To be fair, that made me chuckle a little bit. That was quite good. Yeah, we've been in an embargo for ages. We have, but I tell you what, we ain't smelly at the moment. And as much as you want to give us problems, we ain't, mate. We're not smelly. And plus, you know, we just can't say the Y word. That's it at the moment. But otherwise than that,
when's the last time you paid any tax? When's the last time you paid any tax?
What do you mean? Who? Tottenham.
He's been in that in Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
He's been in that boat in the Bahamas for how many years now?
He's playing within the rules, isn't he?
Oh man, Joe.
He's playing within the rules. Yeah. Some of you guys ain't done. See, You see what it is, yeah? You see Ukraine and that. What's happening over there is absolutely sad. But the reason why this is happening is because the reason why the government here has to do something, because they've got vested interests and stuff in it. So Ukraine is probably, I'm not too sure, don't quote me on this, but
we won't quote you, definitely.
We're definitely, the one person on this thing I won't quote is you.
Quote me. Old type Bonnie King, old type Bonnie. But all I'm saying is that when it comes to this situation, I truly believe that the Chelsea have been nicking money off this Abramovich geezer for as long as I can remember, and now because he's been rumbled, they got to give it all back. Right now, they got to give all. I want them to get a 9-point deduction. I also want them to give all the trophies back. And I want Lukaku to leave and give us Reece James for 10 million. That will sort you out nicely. Yeah,
Frank, can I ask you something? Frank,
go on, man.
As a Chelsea fan, there is obviously, it's kind of semi-confirmed that I think it's Azpilicueta is leaving and he's going to Barcelona.
He was always going to leave. He's been a great captain. He's
the next person that's looks like he's out the door, but it hasn't been.
Rudiger.
Rudiger's definitely gone. He's out the door.
We don't know yet. We don't know.
So is that
unbelievable, Frank.
Frank, why would anybody stay? Why would anyone stay? Why would anyone stay?
Listen, this has every day something new has happened.
Well, let's talk about Rudiger then. Let's talk about Rudiger.
Tomorrow, the government could review the license and get Chelsea sold.
To who?
To
Levy.
Who's going to buy Chelsea? Who's going to want that on their head?
Listen, it could be 2 billionaires that buy Chelsea at a cut price auction, right? They can afford to give these guys the contracts because then they can allow to give contracts.
Hang on, if Abramovich can't give Rudiger the money and he's got lots of money,
it wasn't a case he can't give it. It was a case of how much he was asking for.
He was asking for 400 grand. He can get it elsewhere.
No. Hey, Robbo, don't do that. No, he wasn't.
He was
400 grand.
£400,000.
Who's going to give him 400 grand a week?
Somebody else.
Newcastle.
Not in the Premier League.
He's a boss defender, though. I mean, he thought he was out of Chelsea.
Right now.
He's a boss defender. If you got a problem, you want him to stroll up and say to the brother, "Look, back off! I'm going to put on that mask I wear."
Yeah, he invented the mask before the television.
Germany, and it's somehow Tuchel has brought the best out of him. No other manager has brought out the best out of Rudiger.
I think he's coming to his. I think he's coming to his role.
Crystal was saying so. What are you saying, Crystal?
Oh yeah, thank you. I was saying, so is that the double signing there for Barcelona then? Because I'm sure they've been rumored to sign Christensen as well, right?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
So that's 2 signings from Chelsea.
That's 3. Get it right. 3. Rudiger's in that bag.
So is Rudiger? I haven't seen Rudiger linked with.
I've got to say,
and basically that's the defense. Rudiger, Azpilicueta, and Christensen. That's it.
Lukaku's off as well, mate. He's had it up to here. Lukaku, isn't he?
He's gone. But Chelsea have been a bit like Liverpool before now, you know. In times gone by, Chelsea have been a graveyard for some of the best strikers in the world. You've messed up the careers of more than one. It's because you play almost with a false number 9 from the days of old Pete Rock. The only person who bust that was Drogba, but most of them, Shevchenko, you've had Torres, you've had some proper failures there.
Osgood.
No, Osgood was all right, man. He played in a different game.
Kesman, remember Kesman?
Kerry Dixon.
It was good.
Yeah, he was like Kerry Dixon, man. He remind me of Harry. He remind me of Harry Kane.
Hey, mate, listen. We are going to talk about Kane today. We've seen what he's done to them, like that Henry fella.
So I've got to say too. Forget about this Barcelona, Real Madrid. Those guys are not what they were. We have nothing in this country to fear. I saw Real Madrid PSG. What a game! What a disaster! And they're like. When I watched them, you know, I thought of you, Ern, because I thought they're really Spursy. They're the team that lost from a 4-0 lead, weren't they?
Yeah. Now, you know what? That game brought back memories when we played actually Chelsea. the whole PSG team lost their head. And you remember we lost, well, we didn't lose, but we drew 2-2. And what's his name scored that last minute. We wanted to.
Lewis, where'd you get that rumor from?
We wasn't on football.
I think.
See, I told you about Reece, didn't I?
This one about Reece James, I think for the time being, with the current sanction, it's probably something that you don't really need to worry about because you can't buy or sell players. So the players that we mentioned, those are all players that have basically are approaching their final months of their contract, so they'll be leaving for free. So it should be okay.
Take him for free.
Remember, Chelsea squad
Rudiger.
I think they can sell. I think they can sell players.
They can't sell players.
They can't.
Agree new contracts, allow season tickets, continue to play matches, receive broadcasts. Mate, they'll do something. They've just made that list up.
No, they haven't.
They haven't.
There's no precedent for this. It's an extraordinary thing because it inhibits the ability of that team to operate and to function properly. It can't be right. They have to change it. They have to change it.
It's built to get thingy out, isn't he? Once he's gone,
you know what?
Then it's cool.
You know what? Let me say something, right? Because I'm not really a Chelsea fan, right? But I think what
we know
the government is doing to Abramovich, as I call him, right, is outrageous. Right? It's outrageous. Imagine you got your house and you got your money in your bank, and these clowns come along and tell you, "Here, what we're taking your houses, and we're freezing your money that you got in the bank."
And they do that in real life, you know, Ernie. HMRC.
They do that.
What?
They do that.
Well,
freehold and leasehold, isn't it?
I tell you what, Rob, I've never had that amount of money. So if they done it to you, you just
you don't need a lot of money for the government to come and freeze your assets, bro.
Abramovich tried to get citizenship in this country, and they didn't want him. So he's now got his Israeli citizenship now.
No. It wasn't what he tried to get. He tried to get a working visa again, which they gave to him, and they revoked it after the poisoning thing, the poisoning escapade in
Salisbury.
Right?
Wow.
And so they didn't renew his working visa.
So is him and Putin really top spars then?
Let me tell you something, right? Let me explain something to you.
Yeah, we need to know this bit. This is
Frank's got the inside.
This is the juicy bit, Frank. The CJ Carter weren't giving.
You owned a steel company, right? In England, a steel company, right?
Yeah.
And the Ministry of Defence in England.
Hang on, Frank. We're gonna fact check you with Lewis Mastermind. So carry on.
Yeah, right. You own a steel company in England, right? And the Ministry of Defence says to you, "Here's a contract for some steel. We need some steel for the Ministry of Defence to build some tanks."
Yeah.
You say, "Okay, I've got a steel company in England. I'll give you some steel." So you've got a contract with the Ministry of Defence.
Nice.
Now, England goes to war with Argentina.
Nice.
Yeah? And all of a sudden, it comes out in the paper that you are feeding this war by supplying metal to build tanks for the war.
Yes.
Right.
That's why.
Lovely breakdown so far.
He's supplied metal long before the Ukraine war.
But you've picked up that story where you wanted to pick it up. The whole thing is a symmetry. when the Berlin Wall came down, NATO made a deal that they wouldn't go any further. When the wall came down, they went further. That's what Putin's looking at. So when all of that happened, when we lost the United Soviet Socialist Republic, that all the nationalized industries went to people like your brother, Mr. Abramovich. So he got it at a vastly discounted rate. And so he was in with the Kremlin. Now, if they're going to punish people who live in this country, they have to punish him, not because he's done anything wrong, but he's been able to profit under that regime. You understand what I mean? From the Kremlin under Putin.
Let me show you the two-faced. Let me show you the two-facedness about it, right? We had an owner at Chelsea called Ken Bates,
who wanted to electrify the fans.
No, hold on. Ken Bates owned.
What do you mean he wanted to electrify?
he wanted to put up the electric fences
on the ground. Yeah.
Ken Bates, right, owned lots of dairy farms. Right? Ken Bates owned lots of dairy farms. Agree? He owned so much dairy farms in England. We had a Chelsea fan who worked in the government. What's his name? The one who got caught with his trousers.
Oh yes, remember him with the glasses. Yeah. Filthy man. Mella.
Jimmy Savile.
Mella. he used to sit with Ken Bates.
He's a fan of Ernie.
Right. All of a sudden, we had an outbreak of foot and mouth. Right. In the 80s, I think, it was a big outbreak of foot and mouth disease. Now, before the
there you go, Ernie.
Right, before the government, right, could release a statement about the foot and mouth disease, Peter Mellor whispered in.
David Mellor.
Yeah.
And speaking of David Mellor, you talk about foot and mouth. Wasn't he the one that put his foot in somebody's mouth or something?
No, he was checking the girl with his Chelsea top on.
That's the one. Now, all of a sudden, Ken Bates sold all these dairy farms like a week before the government came out with his foot and mouth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's been hypocrites. The same thing that goes on in Russia goes on in England.
That's what I think
we got a drift. I think we all caught the drift. We know there's something not right about it. There's nothing straight about anything. But
it won't stay like that. It will change.
Yeah, but we are talking about a war, Ukraine and Russia, and it's definitely affecting people. So the government are here trying to do their thing to look like the good guys. We know that's what it is. Where we want to look at is what can possibly happen next for Chelsea. And you, as a suffering Chelsea fan, I mean, the greatest team, one of the greatest teams in the last 20 years. You've won everything under
best team in London.
No,
definitely. Pride of London.
Sorry, the biggest team in London.
So Frank, do you remember the days before the suggestions of barbed wire fencing and electric fences at Chelsea's ground and the shed and all of that? How would you feel going back to those days? How you going to
come back?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm 100%. The club is going to be sold. The club is going to be sold. We're living in the era of the Premier League. The Premier League is one of the most lucrative in the world.
Yeah.
Right?
So them say.
We get £2 billion a year from Sky. Is it 3 billion now? How much do we get money from Sky now? 3 billion, is it?
I'm not too sure. But you get more. You get a lot more money from the overseas companies.
Right.
And Chelsea is a big watch overseas, as you know, in Africa and in the States.
Any team playing in the Premier League are not going to suffer. If you're playing in the Premier League, you're not going to suffer. You're not going to suffer.
But you ain't going to. Listen, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right if you get rid of Abramovich. You know what I mean? I mean, you won't have the cloud over your head, but you won't have a chairman who's going to throw money at players and wages.
Surely Chelsea without Abramovich,
and that is the point.
The super club without Abramovich, though.
And that is the point.
For the last 5 years, Chelsea have been self-sufficient because of the fair play thing, right?
So Frank, you may be on the same level as Arsenal. How would you feel about that?
And Tottenham.
Hey, no, we ain't. Listen, I don't want to be like them.
Tottenham's on a bigger level than.
No,
I think Tottenham's
I
think they're back
say louder. Turn the mic up, Robbo. Say it again. Turn the mic up.
I think Tottenham's about that much above Arsenal.
Only because they got the Sainsbury's car park. That's why they're on a little bit.
Ernie, don't worry. Your time's coming in a few hours tomorrow, Ernie, man. You keep talking, man.
Just on that, on a serious level, the same problem that impacted Arsenal and the same problem that is impacting Tottenham is about to impact Chelsea. That's why they're in a serious problem. Your Candy brothers were trying to buy because you got a ground. What do you take? 36,000. That's not competitive. That's not competitive here and now. The whole area and the planning permission has been knocked down 2 or 3 times. So whoever buys it, because billionaires are billionaires for a reason, right? Whoever buys it is going to want to know that they're going to get that development through. Otherwise, Chelsea is not a good concern.
Eddie, I think got wrong. The last development that was allowed, but when he didn't get his working visa, he put it to the side. They put a plan. It was they okayed it.
What's this Robbo rank talking about? Oh,
the mayor okayed it. The last plan to extend the stadium was okayed by what's his name? Khan.
Sadiq Khan, yes.
Yeah, he okayed it, but when he got his working visa squashed, he put the plans on pause, so that they can rebuild.
There's gonna be a venture capitalist come in. There's going to be a fire sale, and you are going to have an awfully tough time because the voters are looking at that, and the carcass is there fat. And you can't compete unless you have somebody with a passion.
No,
I don't know you're going to get that. I think
Not
you're
if
in
you
a
get
problem.
venture capitalists coming in, mate. Then,
They're going to asset strip it.
Listen,
They
no
said
one is gonna
Abramovich was
match.
buying players. He said, "How much does he cost? Just get him. Bring him.
Yeah, look, no one's
You ain't
gonna
gonna have
match
that
the
no
amount
more,
of
bro.
money that he's gonna put in. No
And
one
who's
is
going to want to?
amount.
Who's going to want to go there?
Do you know what I mean?
And you have a disagreement with the manager. You just go. You go and check Abramovich. You go on the yacht. Everything's sorted. Good. Don't manager's fired. Next manager, and we roll on. Those days are done, Frank.
You take his manager, though, wouldn't you? I'd take his manager. Tottenham, I'd take his manager.
You guys need him.
Oh,
You
We
need
need,
to-
we,
two
we
will
need
go
a
United.
manager badly.
Eddie. Oh yes, we're talking about the new manager, but you've got the big game tomorrow. So let's move to Manchester United, Ernie's favorite part. Ernie, big
Ready.
game tomorrow.
Who they got?
It's a serious clash.
Who they
Two
got?
teams
It's not a serious clash. It's
Tomorrow,
light work.
Let me tell you.
Light
Let me
work.
tell you. This is it. This is it. Let me tell you.
Go on,
Tomorrow.
tell us.
Tomorrow.
We've been waiting
we
for you,
have
Ernie.
to win. We have to win tomorrow.
Why?
I've looked-
Why?
We have to
Tell us.
win.
Go on.
Because
Yeah, you do, mate.
Tottenham's
Yeah.
got a couple of games in hand. If they win tomorrow, they're going to be so far ahead. You
Take
need
that
more
if
than
out of
one
your
knock in the
sentence.
system.
Take the if out of your sentence.
I disagree, Ernie. I think you lot got the easiest running than Arsenal. You see you running.
Hello. We've got somebody called
Who's
Aaron
Ron Biggs?
Maguire.
Hold on. Who's that Ron Biggs fella? Oh, man.
Ronnie Biggs, don't worry about Ronnie Biggs.
He's a Man
Oh,
United fan.
yeah, he's one of our supporters, but sometimes he get a bit carried away. We got a player called Harry Maguire, and as long as we've got him, we are at the. I can't even find the words. As long as he is in the side, there's every possibility that we're going to end up finishing 10th this season.
Ernie, so hold on. You've had a week off, and you've come back after being battered by Manchester City, and you're still.
Oh my goodness, I
this
forgot
Friday,
about that.
No, we ain't forgot about it because Eddie's
Oh,
here,
oh.
so we
How
have
you
to
doing,
hear
Mr.
Eddie's
Nesta?
verdict. And you're still. I gave you the run where I said land the plane, and you still think after a week off. You watch the game. You watch yourself get battered.
I never
and
watched
you
the
still
game. I didn't watch the game.
You
Yes, you did.
All right. Okay. And you still think your problem is Harold Maguire. Eddie,
The
take
mere
it away.
fact that he's in the stadium,
I can't have
anywhere
it.
near Old Trafford.
It's your
Last week,
manager.
Do you know what?
there
I
was
don't
no
think it's his
difference.
fault, you know.
There was no difference between Manchester City beating us at Old Trafford and Manchester City beating us at the Etihad, right? We was always going to get beat in that game, right?
Really?
Yeah, we never had no chance last
Nah.
week. Why do you think I didn't watch it?
Nah, you did. You did. Listen, it's
You watched
easy
it behind
to
the
pick out
sofa
Maguire.
line.
It's
Listen,
easy to pick out
Man
Maguire,
was
isn't it?
ringing me and asking me if I'm watching the game. You know where I was? I was driving. I was down by you, Rob. I was at my friend nearby you. My drive got down there last week, and we was down there chatting and eating some food. People's ringing me. All some man ring me, just luck off the phone.
You rung it after it went to like 2-1.
Bruv.
Knocked off
When
the
I
phone.
heard it went 1-1, a man and they said we scored. I said, yeah, okay. And then by the time I said okay, it was 2-1. I said, that is it. That is
Eddie.
it. We never had no chance last week. What do you think, Eddie?
Eddie.
I think that what we're learning is that the power of the manager. I remember when you send a man in and say that's an interim manager, it doesn't matter what he thinks. It doesn't matter what he's. We see it at other clubs. We saw it when Alex Ferguson said he was about to leave. And we saw it with Pochettino. Pochettino can't say a single word to Messi, Mbappe, or to the other boy there. He can't. So he can't operate a team if he can't tell them what he wants, what they've done wrong, because they go above his head. Now, what we got with Man United is, I've told you before, at least 8 players will leave Man United. They have to go. They will go. And we just have to try and ride out the season. And if we come 6th, I think we've done really well. It was appalling. It's appalling when you talk about heart, when you talk about technique, when you talk about basic positioning. They battered us, and they really, really did embarrass us. And the heart went out of the team. And Micah Richards, people are cussing Micah when he was trending. And, he was giving it to Roy in his face. But as appalling as we are, we can't lose to Tottenham.
We can't. If we lose,
I didn't appreciate the Micah Richards, even though the clip makes it look bad. But I think Roy Keane, regardless of his pantomime bad guy, I just didn't think that was.
No one
That
listens to him
fucking
anyway. It's
Oh,
just,
stop.
he's just there.
He's the best pundit on the telly. This thing, right? This thing. We got this thing at my workplace at the minute, and you know where I work, right? And they say, right? No, let me just explain something to you. Diversity is allowing people of color into an organization. Inclusivity is letting them dance. Micah is being himself. If me and you and Ernie and Ern and Frank and Crystal was in a rum shop in Jamaica, we would have carried on like I would have been dancing. I would have taken off my clothes. I would have let him be himself. So what? He must sit down there with his suit and be himself. Don't be yourself, man.
No.
Be ready to. What would Ferdinand have done? He would have done the same thing.
Eddie, come on, man. You're a broadcaster. You know you can't be yourself.
No, they have a different rule. Me personally, I could give you a little something. I could provoke you. I could try to make you smile. My job is different to Micah Richards. Micah Richards is there to give an opinion. That is his job, whether you like it or not. But he is the most. He is on every.
He was laughing at the man.
So we should be giving it to Sky then for hiring him then, yeah? Is that what you're saying?
No.
I think he was wonderful because he gave us what we deserved. We were appalling. It wasn't. You know the one thing that I don't understand. I don't understand why Jesse Lingard doesn't get, because Jesse tries. All I want, right? The only thing I want from my players, the only thing I want is for them to try. That's all. If you lose, you lose. I want them to try. And those guys on that pitch were not trying. That's it.
Right. So who's got to go then, Eddie? 8 people's got to go. Who's got to go?
Micah.
Micah doesn't play football. You know, Micah's still vexed when Rooney did the overhead kick right beside his ears. They remember that. He's still vexed. By the way, him and Alex Scott, right, talking about people of color, they are on everything. They're not on everything. They're on it because they are fantastic. Micah's got somebody beside him giving him numbers, facts. I once spent a little time with Mark Bright, and he's got a book. You got numbers, you got stats, you got whatever. When those guys are doing those things, it looks as though they just turn up. They don't turn up. They do a lot of work. On that, well, Matic and Mata, let's get rid of those two first, right?
Well, we know that. No, I'm talking. No, them man there.
Yeah, but let me start with the easy places, right? Those two.
You just want to go Maguire, man.
Let's go for the juggler, right? The gay stays.
Hey, the juggler is your back room. That's the juggler. The people that's running your club.
What we see, we don't see.
I can pick 10 players, mate.
Right?
Listen,
you can pick the whole team.
If I see these players playing tomorrow, I'm over the moon. If I see Wan-Bissaka playing, if I see McTominay and I see Fred playing together, if I see those 3 players, I'm gonna be singing.
What about Eric Bailly?
Eric Bailly. I was spoken about him. He's not bad. You know what else is funny as well? I would absolutely love it if I saw Marcus Rashford playing. I would love it.
What's happened to Marcus? What's happened to Marcus?
He's an MP now, isn't he? He's an MP. Yeah, mate. He's just worried about other things other than football.
He's got personal problems. I told you that last time. I told you that. He's got
Ronaldo said something very telling the other day. He said
he did. I saw it. Yeah, I know what you're going to say, Frank.
The young players don't listen to him. And I think that's very telling, because when Ronaldo was at Man United, he listened to the older, more professional players.
Yeah, the Keanes and the Ferdinands.
Yeah, and he said something which is really telling, that the younger players, they don't listen to the more professional players. That's very telling.
But if you look at who they brought on before they brought Rashford on, remember, you didn't have Cavani, you didn't have Ronaldo. They weren't available to play. The little boy is in an awful lot of trouble. He will never play for Man United again. Greenwood.
Oh, Greenwood. Yeah, it's all over.
I forgot about him.
He's gone. And you look at all the players they've got, and he didn't get on that starting 11. He is all the way down the pitch.
If I'm Rashford, listen, as much as I rate Elanga, if I'm Rashford and Elanga's starting before me, We're having war.
But I'd take
We're
Elanga.
doing something.
Elanga scored more goals in the last 5 games than Rashford. Rashford gives the ball away. Whatever he's thinking about, it is not the game of football. Yeah, but you want to say that. You see, you need to understand is in this conversation, we would have been talking about Harry Kane going to Europe. When he masters English, then perhaps he could go to another country to play.
Yeah.
Listen,
the game is tomorrow, 5:30. I don't know.
I thought that it's going to be a draw, isn't it? It's going to be a draw.
Frank, why are you saying that, Frank?
You're right.
You want me to leave or something? Don't wind me up.
No.
It smells of
We
a draw.
ain't drawing with these guys. Talking about, you see what we did to Man City just the other day? Daddy Ernie was throwing in the white flag, talking about as soon as they scored the first goal, we was done. When they scored against us, do you think we was falling asleep? City, we got City's number. City don't want to play us. City, do you think that we think help us knock points off them because it's just us doing it? We're the only
your season is a remarkable season because
it isn't it? Because we'll make top 4. Conte's been there 3 weeks. We'll make it, mate. Don't you worry about it.
Ernie, do you agree with this comment?
Arsenal will make top 4.
Ernie and Eddie, do you agree with this comment from Romford Jeff?
What's that? McTominay was the player who tried the most. Listen, Romford Jeff, mate. You got a gammy eye, mate.
I never saw the game. I didn't see the game, so I can't comment.
I saw the game live and direct. McTominay was chasing his tail, mate.
I would put Jones on before Maguire. That's how I feel about Maguire.
You know that.
I was looking at the islands that you could buy around the Caribbean Sea for £80 million. I'm vexed when I get a parking ticket. How much you feel when you spend £80 million on that?
£1 and you get
how much did Van Dijk go for?
75.
It's easy to pick Maguire, though, isn't it?
Go for? Silver.
Thiago Silva. He's about 74, though, isn't he? He's not old, isn't he?
Nothing. A Rolls Royce.
I tell you what, yeah. If we lose tomorrow, I'm gonna be fuming.
All right. Well, you know, I can't comment on that. If you ask me, what the score's gonna be tomorrow, I can't comment.
It's gonna be a draw. So you can see
Frank, didn't you hear me just 5 minutes? What are you talking about, Frank? We ain't
Man
drawing
United,
that game with them.
Man United and Tottenham don't really draw. There will be goals because
there's going to be a winner.
Both teams are rubbish.
Yeah. The referee's going to get a brown paper bag as well. His bum's going to be beatboxing because the crowd's going to be on his back. Oh, it's a penalty, and he'll blow it. You know what I mean? You know what's going to happen. The ref's going to play a massive part.
What do you think about your new player, your Kulusevski? And the guy you were talking about a few weeks ago, Doherty, you said he can't play football. What's going on?
Listen, a broken clock works twice a day. Don't get hyped by this Doherty guy. He's the smelliest guy. I hope he's watching this as well. I don't want him to play for the club. He's on borrowed time.
What you not done to Luka Moura? What you done to him?
Yeah, he's got a habit of giving the ball away, isn't it? You know what I mean? He likes running, but he gives it away. But Kulusevski, you got to warn me when you give me his name.
Hold on, where's Kulusevski?
Of course he does. He's Swedish, 21.
He's what?
He's 21 years old. He's Swedish.
He's Swedish. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you know the ginger Swede. They're going to ban all Russian players.
Yeah, it's true. They might do that, man. I don't think no one's got any Russian players.
You think it was Russian, Ernie?
Can I ask
Kulusevski? I think so. Yeah. Kulusevski sounds Russian.
He's not. He's Swedish. Don't try it, Daddy Ernie. Maguire's Russian, mate. I tell you.
I could believe that. He needs to give the money back.
That's all I'm saying to you now is it will be. I'll tell you the top. I'll tell you the three. I'll tell you the team. I could tell you the team today if you want. I'll tell you the team today. You ready?
Easy, Bonnie King.
Everybody go. Who's Bonnie King? Who's that? Bonnie, you're bang out of order, mate. Bonnie, yeah? Bang out of order, fella. All I know... Check this out.
There you go.
I get you the team, yeah? You know Lloris is going to be in. Lloris is in.
We don't need the back three. I don't want to hear about the Tottenham team.
Yeah, you do. I'm giving you... So you can text...
How many mistakes has he made in the last 3 or 4 games? He's a liability, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a liability.
Yeah, he winds me up. He does.
Is Reguilon a regular, or is he
Reguilon? I like him, man. He's got a heart still, but the concentration is not there. He doesn't.
And where's Emerson Royale, man? Where's the Royale?
Emerson Royale,
the Brazilian.
I need him gone immediately. He is. I want him to do well because we have the same skin tone, but other than that. He is rancid. I mean, he stinks really bad, Emerson Royal.
My mate Chris
He's
Sweeney
full of nerves.
reckons
Him and
Winks.
Sessignon. Who?
My mate Chris Sweeney says Winks is useless.
He's horrible. I don't know how he's a professional footballer. He's no
That's
good.
what he said. There's another one, Winks, and there's another one that he says.
Winks, I can tell you, I know what he's going to say. He's going to say Winks. He's going to say Doherty. He's going to say probably Ben Davis. But Ben Davis in the top three, in the back three, not as a back four, in a back three on the left side, very, very, very not bad. He's not bad, the fella.
Is it turning around for Ryan Sessegnon?
No, he's done. He's done.
You think
he's gone? No, mate, Sessegnon doesn't care, man.
No, I've had enough. I don't want to see him ever again, ever. He's made out of candy floss. He's got an NHS gold card, that fella. As soon as someone sneezes on his kneecaps, he's out for 6 weeks. He don't get injured for a week. He gets injured for 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, that's like Bailly then, isn't it? That's like Bailly. Like Eric.
Let's get a quick prediction on the game tomorrow. Let's start with Man United at home to Spurs.
Sure.
5:30.
Frank, what is wrong with you? Stop saying that.
No, let's start with Crystal. Crystal, what's your prediction on the game tomorrow?
Crystal knows already. Big up, Crystal. Just say it. I know it's going to upset you. It's going to upset you, Crystal, but just say it.
Every time Ed's been on the show, I'll tell you this, Ed, because we watch back the tape cassette. You've always been wrong on your predictions. So welcome. Anyway, Aloha.
Go on, Chris. She's not going to let me down. I know she don't like us, but she knows football. Go on.
No, it's not that. I actually prefer you guys over to them, compared to them. The red team in Manchester.
You're a bit feisty,
I think Frank. The thing is, I think Frank is onto something though.
You adore.
No, hear me out, because Manchester United, similar to what Eddie was saying, they have to win. They really and truly do have to win. But the fact of the matter is, Tottenham, unfortunately for Manchester United, have been like their bogey team. They've been that team that when they face up against them, they don't perform at their best. I'm looking at Manchester United currently, and it's clear that there is a cultural problem there. I know that Daddy Ernie's spoken about Harry Maguire, but I don't think that it's just an individual problem. I think it's a collective problem.
100%.
It's not just one or two player that's not focused. It's the whole entire team that has
the manager.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to talk about the interim manager, because the problems were there before he came in. It's clear that the problems were there.
That's a good shout, Crystal.
Yeah, but a good manager will fix the problems, like Tuchel.
It's not going to happen overnight, though. It's going to take something similar to what Mikel Arteta done. You need to have guts to actually say that I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're my captain. I don't care if you're the most expensive player in my team. You're not good, so you have to see the exit door. It needs to be Manchester United need to go back to where they were cutthroat and ruthless. At the moment, they're walking around with a water pistol. Who cares about your water pistol?
They're toothless.
They're not exactly. They're just they're not the same team like that they were like some decades ago.
Do you know what will make them good? I think they should go for Mancini, man.
He's not leaving. He's not leaving Italy.
Let me tell you. Me and Eddie, and Frank as well are old enough probably to remember Man United when we was Man United like how we are now, before the Fergie era, when we never used to win nothing. A pure idiot business are going. Right, so but you see the lot from the Premiership who's just been used to Fergie, right? They're in a war zone right now. They don't know what to do with themselves. But you see me, I know how I remember us getting relegated, bruv.
Yeah,
from the first division to the second. Eddie, you don't remember that?
I do remember that, but I also remember when their old stadium used to be called 3 Point Lane. I remember. I remember that's what Tottenham used to be called, 3 Point Lane. And the thing is one year, I remember 2007, we went 3-0 behind, and I sat there and I was still cool, and we ended up beating them 5-3. So
yeah, I remember. Was it last year? At Man United,
6-1 last year.
Yeah, 6-1. I remember that. That was just yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think last year it was around October times that you played against them, right? And they did what was the scoreline? They beat you like 3-0, right? Manchester United.
But we had Nuno though, innit? Remember him, the comedian from Zippo
That's what I'm
Circus.
saying, though. But I think it has to be a must-win more so for Manchester United than Tottenham. But if you're looking I'm not saying they're going to beat you, but they need to beat you.
But we've already beat them this season.
Yeah, so we'll tag you back. You beat us fair and square with Nuno, negative guy, no problem. But we will lick off your head. I have no doubts,
guys. If you're agreeing with the chat, Ernest said that heads are going to get licked off, and he thinks it's going to be our Tottenham thing. If you are watching right now, please press that like button on the video right now underneath it. It really helps us because Eddie is expensive. He's on the 3-letter money, so it costs to have this man on it. So please, guys, hit the like button now if you're watching the show and enjoying the chat. We didn't get your prediction though. Score prediction, Talawa, and then we move to Daddy Ernie, then Eddie, then Frank, then Ern.
My mind's telling me 2-2. my mind's telling me 2-2. Yeah, 2-2. That's what I'm feeling. They need to beat you guys, but they haven't looked entirely comfortable over you.
Our top three's gonna
facing
love
you
that
guys
backline.
in recent years.
Ernie
gonna love that backline.
Mr. Harriet,
I can't give you a result.
no, you have to. You're gonna have to because it's a
Come on,
show.
Daddy Ernie. Come on, man.
Spill it out.
Give you a result. I just don't
Just
know.
say something.
Spill it out without Maguire. Come on, just blank Harry out of your mind and just give us a prediction.
If I do that, then United to win.
Yeah, what a score without Harry. Don't think about Harry. Just
2-1.
Jeez,
2-1.
Who scores for you?
Sancho and Bruno.
All right, Eddie. Truth time. Truth serum.
Come on, Eddie.
Well, I don't know. You say I've never been right, so I hope that you're taking note that we won't lose against Tottenham. It's just that if Tottenham consider it to be a big game, which I think they will, then they will be Spursy. That's what we've come to know them to be. Anytime the pressure is on, they bail out. They're the nearly team. Without doubt, if it's a penalty shootout, if you're in the final, if you're in a game that matters, they're the only team in the whole of the league that have a definitive word named after them in the dictionary, Spursy. Chokers,
press his mute button, Robbo.
losers.
Press his mute button.
3-1.
He's killing me, fella. He's killing me.
3-1.
Yeah.
Frank, you reckon it's a draw? What's the draw? 0-0 or some?
No, it's going to be a score draw. It's going to be a score draw. But can I quickly ask Eddie and Ernie a quick question? The Man United, was it Ragnick? He was brought in to assess the team and to recommend a manager for next season. Who do you think?
Yeah, because he's going to go at the top, isn't he? He's going to go and work at the top after.
Who do you think he's going to recommend as manager for Man United?
Oh, 10 thing, isn't he?
I reckon, it's got to be Ten Hag, but that is subject to our ex-goalkeeper coming back because I think they work as a team.
Crystal said to me, them now get not 10 hug, them not even get 5 hug. Crystal was jumping too. Sorry, Crystal.
If Arsenal choke that fourth, I'm gonna come on here and dance.
Oh, mate, it's gonna be a
party. You can't come to me, Mr. Nesta, because you already said that we're not
knock it on the head, Ben.
Well, they've got the games in hand and they've got the points.
Games in hand don't mean nothing, though. Manchester United had games in hand and they blew it. So the games in hand means absolutely nothing.
I think
in my opinion.
So what was Frank's question again?
I mean,
Ten Hag. I'm going for 10 Hag.
I'd take Pochettino.
5
Of course you would.
Wow. Because there's a lot of
because
supporters were going for Pochettino before the game the other day.
I agree.
But I've already said to you, he cannot change that front three. I don't even know if he can substitute them without going to somebody above him. And therefore, how can he operate a team? Well, hold on a minute. Before you get excited, Frank, with all due respect, we're just meeting now. Who was the previous manager of PSG?
Yeah, he got his head licked off as well.
And he got his head looked off and went on to win the Champions League and now the World Club Cup. So you are a living embodiment of my. Remember, I come on here to speak facts. You've got me mixed up with that brother there beside you with the glasses. He's the one who just makes noise. He thinks if he says it louder and often enough, it becomes the truth.
No. See, in my comedic delivery, there's a lot of truth, man.
Tuchel was winning trophies before PSG. Pop wasn't winning trophies before PSG.
No. What? Well, hang on. Spin that one again. Tuchel wasn't winning for trophies before. No, he wasn't. He was at Dortmund, bro.
He won trophies with Dortmund. What are you talking about?
Did he win at Dortmund? He didn't win the league at Dortmund. What did he win at Dortmund?
I'll tell you what he won.
Audi Cup, mate. We done that at Tottenham.
Anyway, while Frank does his wiki search, Ern, what do you reckon the score will be?
Don't ask me no questions, Robbo. You know the drill, mate.
He won trophies at Tottenham before PSG, because it was just the other day that Klopp, by winning the Carabao Cup, equaled him in trophies. Equal Tuchel in trophies. They both won 10 trophies each. So I know he's been winning.
What trophies did he win at Dortmund, bro?
I don't know. Frank, you was going downhill the minute you said it was a draw.
I'm thinking there's a show for you.
Frankie, you've got to stop making it plural over there.
Yeah, I think there's a show for you.
I don't know what day
you got won the German Cup.
Yeah, he won the German Cup.
He won the German domestic cup.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the Rumbelows down here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that PSG winning the French Cup?
He won 2 French Cups. He won the French Cup.
The German FA Cup.
German
PSG. What did he win?
What did Poch win? What did Poch win before PSG?
But you can see what Poch is. Listen, he wants to come back home, but I don't want him home. I don't want him.
Give us your quick prediction because we don't want to be here too long with this.
No problem. Okay, so my
Manchester
prediction,
United, Tottenham nonsense.
My prediction is it's going to be a war, right? and I refuse for us to score any less than 3 goals. I'll be very surprised. I reckon the referee will cave and give a penalty because Ben Davies is there. Bruno will probably score a penalty, but I reckon we'll get 3 goals, 3 lovely goals.
Listen,
what is that? 3-0, and
3-1 or 3-0. You can pick anyone you want.
Listen,
go on.
I'd love to agree with you.
I must say something. There's a caveat here. It depends on our fullbacks. If our fullbacks are on it, we won't lose. If they're not on it, we won't lose. Yeah.
Okay. Does that mean if you don't lose, you won't lose?
No, we ain't losing, mister. Listen, we ain't losing. We're not. No way.
All right, what do you say then, Robbo?
I'll give my quick prediction. I reckon it's going to be, listen, as much as I would want Tottenham to win, I just think Tottenham are doing this up and down thing. They'll win a game, lose a game. And I think one thing with Man United, they have.
Don't you do it, Robbo.
No. Listen, Man United have bounce back ability. I think Man United bounced back after that drubbing from Manchester.
You see what we did to Leicester in 20 seconds. You see what we did to Man City. We're a different animal now, you know.
Hang on, Kane's on his game right now. Kane will lick a goal against Man United.
But I think Man United. What about Son?
Listen,
what about Son?
I think Man United are 1 goal. I think they're 1 goal better.
Yeah. You got me there.
They're 1 goal better than Tottenham. I think they're 1 goal better. So it could be 3-2. 2-1, but Man United are a goal better than Tottenham. That's
wait to get on there next week, mate. I'm going to rub it all over you. Quick prediction,
because we do have an Arsenal game to talk about. We'll do the Chelsea and Liverpool. So let's just talk about those 3 games quickly. 12:30 tomorrow, Brighton against Liverpool. If Liverpool slip up, I don't think this is the game we slip up, so I'll say it from now. But if we do slip up against Brighton, I still think we're in it. What's your prediction, Eddie? Brighton, Liverpool.
Brighton have had a bit of a tough time recently, and they've lost games I haven't expected them to lose. I expect you guys to win that 3-0.
Okay. Crystal?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a Liverpool win. Probably similar to Eddie's scoreline, 3-0. A comfortable win for you guys.
Ernie, you don't be watching much football. What would you reckon?
2-0 Liverpool.
Liverpool is the city of Liverpool. Eddie, Frank, sorry.
Yeah, Liverpool got the bit between their teeth as usual this time of the season. I think it'll be an easy one for them, 3-0.
Ern?
Boy, I've got to say, big up Romford Jeff in the notes. He said something lovely that you didn't post up. I appreciate it.
No, Ern. No.
Yeah, but big him up. But all I will say is this. I will say Brighton have needed a striker because they've got no strikers. They keep the ball better than most in this league. I wouldn't. It's not as clean cut as you think it is. You know,
He's a good manager. He's a good manager.
He's a very good manager. That fella. I wanted him before we got Nuno, but I'm gonna go. Liverpool gonna do it, innit? My head is saying Liverpool. My heart is saying draw.
Yeah, I think Liverpool do it because they had a bad game in midweek. I think they you know what I mean. They lost and they go through.
Yes, that's a good shout. And Salah talking about him wanting. Well, he's talking about he needs to score more goals next time out, possibly a hat trick. So that's a good shout.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's an easy win, Lewis, but I think Liverpool I think they're going to want it more, and I think even if Brighton put it on Liverpool going to want it more. So it's to
Where
the
is it at Brighton?
Tomorrow. It's at Brighton, Amex, but we have a good record at the Amex, so we'll see what happens. Chelsea Newcastle. That's the first game on Sunday. Newcastle.
That is a game of the day. Game of the day. Game of the day.
Mate, game of the day. Money versus money.
Come on, Leicester Arsenal will be game of the day.
Leicester Arsenal, what? Leicester.
Newcastle.
All right, Newcastle Chelsea.
Well, listen. I'll go first, right? I had this thing about, they're telling me the best English manager is Eddie Howe, and I'm like, okay. They obviously couldn't get the type of person they want in because nobody wants to go to a club who's in danger of being relegated. So they really had a difficult time. They brought in the Tottenham boy Trippier, and then he got injured. He got them 6 points, and then he got injured. I'm just saying. I think it's going to be a brilliant game. I think it's going to be a draw. But what Newcastle have done, I mean, it's look at where they are in the Premier League. Fantastic. Well done to them.
Do you give any credit to Eddie Howe then?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because he hasn't had proper money yet. Do you see what I mean? And he hasn't spent proper money yet. And the best player. Yeah, absolutely. Give them even though the money's dirty, give them.
Yeah, they
do. So do you think it's going to be a draw then?
Yeah. Because Chelsea are a better team, but they've had a rough week. Newcastle on the this guy Shelby, his legs are gone, but he can still do a trick or two.
I don't know where they get the goals from, Newcastle. Quick prediction, guys. Crystal.
Wow.
Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, there's so much going on at the moment with them. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's difficult.
Don't worry, no one ain't gonna kill you.
Just put the HMRC to one side.
I'm feeling for a 3-1 Chelsea.
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, I'm feeling for a 3-1.
So you reckon Chelsea roots out Newcastle then?
Wouldn't put it like that, but they
needed rooting out because they're not going too bad. They're going on too bad.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear Frank's prediction.
Frank, what's your prediction, Frank? Quickly.
Go, Frank.
I think that there was a time when Ferguson was good at creating this mentality at Man United of
bunker mentality. Yeah.
Us against the world. And I think what's happened to Chelsea with all this sanctions, I think the government has created that for Chelsea already. I think the players, I watched the game against Norwich the other day, and it
was Norwich though, to be fair.
Yeah, but not just Norwich too.
Norwich, us six.
Against Burnley, which I thought we would trip up because we always trip up against Burnley. But there was a spell in 10 minutes when Chelsea was unplayable, and I think that's that mentality. That's because of the sanctions. It's made us against the world, and I think
that's a good show.
There'll be a time in the game where Newcastle won't live with Chelsea, and I think that's when Chelsea will win the game.
That's a good show.
The two ends.
I'm going 2-2. I'm going 2-2. Right now, Newcastle's on a vibe.
Yeah, they are.
Eddie. I actually called for Eddie to come. Not Eddie Nesta. Eddie.
Nobody wants Eddie Nesta nowadays.
Don't have it, Eddie.
I know.
I called for him to come to Manchester United, and people were saying he hadn't got the experience and all that. But I think Eddie out of Manchester United, give him time, I reckon he would have got there. Right? So I'm going to go 2-2 Newcastle because at the moment they don't seem to be doing nothing too wrong.
Okay. All right. Ern?
Is the Black Pirate playing? What's his name? What's that? The Black Pirate.
What's his name again? Maximilian.
Is he injured?
No, he's back from injury.
They're gonna smash Chelsea's face in.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm going last minute. I'm going last minute 2-1, mate. Chris Wood, Bosch.
I'm gonna be there. I've got a ticket for that as it goes.
Don't go, mate. You're gonna cry. Don't go.
No, I think Chelsea, and it's got nothing to do with the spirit of Chelsea, because they don't actually care about the government's problem. They care about their wages, but I think they're just a boss team, Chelsea. I don't think Newcastle come close to them. They keep the ball away from Newcastle. Bosch. 3-1. Chelsea.
Robert, you're on one today, mate.
No.
What are you drinking in that cup?
Amondi, you're right, man. We only got 5 likes in one of the chats. We need 20. You are 100% right. Crystal should be encouraging that. So
I'll
right now,
be sitting in the sponsors, the free sponsors, the empty box on Saturday.
There's no one's allowed to go, mate. You can't sell tickets. It's going to be empty. You're going to have to get fans going free.
Hit the like for Crystal. Do it now. Right now. Watch this. Smash. Okay, and the last game we'll talk about, I would love to talk about West Ham and all the other games, but let's just quickly say thanks. Arsenal, Chelsea. I couldn't do this because Crystal will kill me. Leicester. Arsenal can cement that top 4 position. They got 3 games in hand. They could win this game and be cruising. Man United, Tottenham in their own problem. Arsenal could be cruising.
Running. Man United got easier running. They can easily.
Games in hand worth nothing. But what do you reckon? Let's start with Daddy Ernie. Leicester, Arsenal. It's at Arsenal Stadium.
Arsenal are doing
again. They're at home again.
Arsenal, and Arsenal, Newcastle, Arsenal, Leicester. They're bankers. No matter how good Leicester plays or how good Newcastle plays, Arsenal always beats them. So tomorrow I'm going Arsenal, Leicester, 2-1. Vardy to score for Leicester.
I think Vardy's out.
He's injured, isn't he? He's injured. He's injured again.
He's injured, mate.
Wow.
Yeah, he's injured again. Yeah.
Him and Sessegnon have got the same blood type, ain't they?
If Vardy ain't playing, they got no hope.
Eddie, what do you reckon?
I think it's brilliant. I just want to, because you won't let me talk, but I just think maybe what he's done is taken out all the negative influences from that dressing room, because we looked at it and went, well, they haven't got any strikers. And some of the games they've been playing, even Lacazette looks like a proper player again. I saw Pepe scoring the other day. And so what he's done, and they've backed him clearly, is he's taken the negative influences out. Now, whether or not they have the heart in the centre to be a top club, I don't know. But I think it would be criminal if they lost top 4. I expect them to win. Leicester have been nowhere near their best this year.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Frank?
I like Arsenal. 2022. January. They went for the whole of January, cup and league, without winning a game. Never won one game. February. They've played Wolves twice, Watford and Brentford. Am I right?
Yep.
And they've won them 4 games. Wolves
Lovely
twice.
fixtures.
Wolves was a tough
Wolves playing Wolves twice and beating them twice. I put my hands up. I didn't expect them to do that. They've done it. They beat Wolves twice, home and away.
There's a but here.
Watford and Brentford. But it's the Arsenal. They do this and then something. And I just think tomorrow they're going to flop, because that's what Arsenal do.
He's back in, everyone. He's back in.
What do you reckon? Your favourite team, second favourite team, Arsenal, Leicester.
I think Arsenal.
I can't see Arsenal scoring 2 goals unless Pepe comes on. I don't like the way they're treating Pepe. I'm a Tottenham fan, but I'm a football fan first. And Pepe, when he plays, they're a different threat going forward.
He's a good player.
He's all right. I mean, he's good when he comes on second half. But if I'm being honest with you, I am a bit worried because Leicester absolutely whiff. They smell. But
they've had injuries, though.
They've had injuries, but I do like the little light-skinned fella. What's his name?
Justin?
Nope, the midfielder.
Oh, the
Belgium
midfielder.
Belgium guy.
Belgium.
He's good.
He wants out, though.
Yeah,
he's out.
He wants out.
out.
He wants
out.
Oh, I like him. Yeah. I like him. You know, I'm gonna be controversial here because there's a lot of pressure on Arsenal
Liverpool.
and they know they need to win. And this is something new. They're lucky they play one game every month, so they're really fresh. So I'm gonna say that Leicester will beat them 3-2.
Shut up.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You're talking about Tielemans. Listen, I think I like Frank. I like where Frank went. You know, I wasn't thinking about that, but he drew for the iPad and he drew for the stats. You could be right. Them games that
walk in the parks, man.
Have run into. They came at the right time for Arsenal. They're out of all the cup competitions. They got beaten by Liverpool. That just put them out of any contentions for trophies. And you might be right. I think the tough games start here. There might be a bounce back ability with Leicester. I think it might be a draw. I think
they're gonna.
No.
Harvey Barnes. He's a dancer.
It's Packer playing. I like that Packer. Is it Packer?
Crystal, give it to them, because not only all of that, but Leicester were also playing in Europe this week, weren't they? And Arsenal, as you say, one game a month. They're relaxing. They're coming into that full of fitness.
But Eddie, they're getting their players back, and they're using Europe to get their players back. They got Maddison, as Bonnie King
They
said.
have not got Vardy. That's it.
Yeah,
he's their talisman. He's their person.
Madison's
They got
back.
Zach Patterson.
Yeah, exactly.
And Nacho. I reckon there's goals in it. I think
Crystal
it's
talks sense. Nobody ain't talking sense.
I reckon the 2-2.
Vardy is obviously their danger man, especially against us. A bit like Didier Drogba for Chelsea, always scoring against Arsenal. So I have heard rumors that he's out, and if he is, then that's fantastic news. But if we're looking at both teams over the last, say, five previous fixtures, they've lost one and we've drawn one, and then the other results is just win across the board for both of us. So we're going into the game in good form, appeased. And it's one of those games that I think a lot of Arsenal fans, we don't really look forward to playing against Leicester City, if I'm being honest, in terms of doing the double over them. So if we manage to beat them on Sunday, it would be a Super Sunday fixture, a late evening fixture. It will be the first time that we've done the double over them in the league since 2015-16 season. So that goes back to some years. So that just goes to show that it's not a walk in the park game. It reminds me of facing against the likes of Wolves and Newcastle. You do have to tread carefully.
Hard games, yeah.
Tough games. You have to be careful. You can't just go in there and think that, because you're sitting so comfortably over the last string of games, unbeaten, playing at home, sitting in fourth. You can't afford to be complacent. And I think this is where you start to judge Arsenal and start to drum up your assumption as to whether or not they would actually nail down that top 4 spot. It starts on Sunday against Leicester City. And if they slip, they're going to slide. Hopefully that's not the case. So Sunday is a huge game for them.
It's away from home for Leicester. And sorry, thank you for the correction. It's Patterson Dakar. So they got Dakar, they got Lookman, and they got Iheanacho. I think on the break, Leicester on the break is a different animal, bro. I think they've got a chance because they'll have to play on the break, and Arsenal just like to play football. So Arsenal
need to win because they got Liverpool next week, so they need to win.
This is what I'm saying. It all starts there. You can't afford to lose against Leicester City and then go and lose against Liverpool. You have to win.
Do you know Harvey Barnes is going to be man of the match? Remember I said it, Harvey Barnes, man of the match.
It's not an easy game, and as I said, Brendan is a decent coach with players, and I think if he set up, he knows he hasn't got Vardy. He will set up the Lookman. He'll set up Dakar. He'll set up Barnes, and they'll try to play you on the break, and that might be a problem for Arsenal. But
you're right, MND, mate.
Yeah, thanks for all the comments. The comments have been really
Nobody wants top 4. Remember, Wolves and West Ham have gone. It's now Tottenham, Arsenal, and Man United. And after tomorrow, we'll find out whether Tottenham or Man United want it.
Usual suspects every season, isn't it?
Frank, listen, we've enjoyed your company on the show.
Yeah, man. Frank. Big up, Frank.
We'd like to leave you with something that, it's a glorious club, Chelsea. You've done glorious things. You set trends around the world. You even had kids on TikTok doing this.
Torres can try and run for the hills. He's just run into traffic. More danger for Chelsea. The thing was in the way. Lashed clear by Cole. Torres is onside and all alone here. Fernando Torres in stoppage time. He wouldn't, would he? He has for Chelsea, and they go to Munich. Roberto Di Matteo living the dream.
That was once upon a time.
We paid 50 million for that goal. We paid 50 million to Liverpool for that goal.
For one goal.
50 million we paid for that. To get to
That
the
was funny.
Champions League final and win it, we paid 50 mil for that.
Cool.
Well, you I don't know if you're going to be living the dream anymore. You'll be living somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be at Stamford Bridge. Listen, Eddie
wake up,
Nesta,
man.
thank you for joining us on the show.
God
Eddie.
bless you guys.
Mr. Nesta.
Thank you, Talawa TV. Thank you.
Good luck,
Thank you,
Good luck,
Danny.
Yeah, big up, mate. Good luck.
Good luck to all your teams this weekend. Remember, you can listen back to the show. Be on Robo Ranks Radio. We're playing tomorrow morning. It's also going to be on what channel again, Daddy Ernie?
Sky 182, and also on Genesis Radio in Birmingham. Don't forget that as well.
Sky went into Channel 7. So big up the listener, the viewers in Ireland that's catching the show. Catch you back next week. Thanks, everybody. Fix you.